What does the higher standard have to do with the rise of the Babylonian Empire? More than you might think. We are talking about ancient peoples here. Back in those days before Babylonia became an empire, there were wars that were considered like world war happening back then. And God had been trying over and over to get the Jewish people to live in a different standard. They have always had a different standard that was given to them by God. He wanted them to be a holy people, a people that stood apart as righteous, that would be His family, His people, for all eternity. And because they disobeyed Him over and over, God's judgment came. He is not a non-existent, unspeaking, unfeeling God. He is our Father, our Creator. And make no mistake, His judgment is swift and fierce. But He will never, and I mean never, ever, eliminate all of the Jewish people. Now, that seems to be something that's rising in our culture today as well. Look at what has happened recently in Israel on October 7th and beyond, and the war that's going on. And there seems to be a rise in anti-Semitism. And the thing is, God still loves the Jewish people. He has not turned His back on them. As a matter of fact, He loves them a great deal. Have you ever seen a child that grew up without any discipline? You would think that that would be a child that loves, right? Have you ever seen what kind of person that child turns out to be? A child that has no love for anyone and only thinks about themselves. God's punishment is fierce, and He punishes those He loves to draw us closer to Him. This righteous standard isn't only for Jewish people. It's for any of us that have been called by God to be His children, to follow Him for the rest of our lives. That puts us in a place where we are to study His Word daily and grow closer to Him every day and open our hearts and our souls to worship Him every single day. And yes, the troubles still come, and the heartaches still come, and the grief still comes, and our hearts break. But we must reach out and praise to God always. He disciplines those He loves. He will never completely wipe out the Jewish people. They are His holy people. And those of us Gentiles that have turned our hearts over to Him are adopted members of that family. And we are to honor Him every day of our life. And yes, punishment still comes. And heartache still comes. And horrible things still happen by a people that have an evil heart, including the Hamas, that have great evil in their hearts. Has God allowed bad things to happen? Yes, but it's to bring people back to Him. Understand that it is never because He has abandoned them. It is out of love. Those of you who hear my message, I hope you hear my heart and my words for you. I love you. You are my brothers and sisters in Christ. And I hope that you stay strong in spite of all the troubles that come. And the troubles will continue to come until the end of the day, until the end of this age. But God will never abandon you. In Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 12, it says, "Those who are left will be lowly and humble, for it is they who trust in the name of the Lord. Even to the end of the age, there will always be people there for God, people who don't turn away from Him. There will be believers that do not bow to the pressures and persecution of society until the very end of the age." Thank you for stopping by. As always, I really appreciate you. I pray that your heart grows closer to Jesus every day. And if you would like this message to reach others, please like or subscribe. Thanks for stopping by.